Welcome to Real Talk, Reginald D. I'm your host, Reginald D. On today's episode, I'm going to talk about you were not born to lose. Let's go. People look at life as something that constantly needs to be enhanced. People always want to win when it comes to their life. They don't expect to lose. But the minute they start losing, then they begin to start losing it, not realizing that life is mainly about moments. Just because you had a bad moment doesn't mean you're going to continue to have them. I need you to realize that you were not born to lose. Your destiny is in your hands. Your destiny is not decided by fate or circumstance. You hold the key and got the power within you. I need you to quit going through life with the I just got to get through the day mindset. You are made to feel the energy of life. You were born to dream big. You need to know deep in your bones that your life is meant to be lived and not just endured. You were not born to lose. You were born to be a chooser. Your choices define your destiny, not your birth. There is a higher purpose for your life. Go after it. Two things I need you to know. One of them is that you were not born on this earth to please anyone. This is your path that you got to define, regardless of others' expectations. The second one is that you were not born to pay bills and die. There is more for your life. Truth is, you were not born to lose. You were not born to be a loser in any way. You were born to win in every way. This is how life works. You can't win unless you try to win, but you will always lose by trying not to lose. Think about that. How can you lose by not trying to lose? I'll tell you why. It's because you're focused on the losing part, but you were not born to lose in the first place. You were born to win. So focus on winning, man. Now let me hit you with this. Even though you were not born to lose, there are some things that you can lose, but it's not a loss. One of them is people. Not everyone you lose is a loss. Letting go of toxic people will allow you to find yourself and keep winning. It's time for you to start worrying about the people who walked out of your life. If they walked out of your life and left you hanging, then you didn't have them in the first place. So guess what? You never lost what you didn't have, and you can't keep what's not yours. Here's the thing about life. You were not born to lose, even though you felt like you were born into a losing situation. You are here to live, learn, and upgrade your life. Be confident in yourself and your abilities. Don't let insecurity ruin the beauty that you were born with. You were not born to blend in with everybody else. The minute you start doing that is the minute you start losing. And you were not born to lose. You were born to stand out, shine bright, and break every rule that's trying to hold you back. Don't be afraid to be the real you. That's who you were born to be. You are here to be you and not what somebody else wants you to be. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. Sometimes you got to tell people, don't underestimate me until you have challenged me. It's time for you to go for yours. You were not born to lose. You have to make sure that the lack of intensity is not your issue. You got to reclaim your strength. I need you to understand that your patience is your strength. I'm not talking about patience with people that can't get right. I'm talking about patience with your dreams and desires. When it comes to your life, you got to do things right and not fast. You can't rush what you want to last for a lifetime. Remember, you are not built to be liked. You were built to last. Think about how your life would change if you move like you can't be stopped. I need you to understand that you can't break what was born with purpose. You were not born to lose, so quit acting like and talking like it. The way you communicate your feelings will dictate how others respond to you. Communicate like a winner and stop crying like a loser. Leave the crying at home. It's time to rise up and win in life. You were not born to lose. Let me ask you this. What is your foundation? What are you standing on? How is your belief system? You have to stand on truth. For instance, like me, I deal with a lot of situations simply this way. I look at a situation as either the truth or a lie. Because one thing I know is that the truth will never be a lie, and a lie will never be the truth, no matter how hard you try to make it that way. It's time for you to become the person that you always needed. Upgrade your life, set new goals, and chase them. You were not born to lose. You were born to overcome. I need you to stop inventing your own miseries. The reason you can't get ahead is because you keep placing thoughts in your mind that's keeping you miserable. That's why you keep losing. You were not born to lose. You were born to be great. So don't die being average. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. I was talking to a young man, and he was talking about how his life was growing up, and being born in poverty has held him back. At least he felt that way. I told him, being born in poverty is not your fault. But if you die in poverty, then it's all on you. That's your fault. I can give you a sure formula for success, but I can give you a formula for losing. And that is keep giving excuses on why you can't. Excuses make you fail every time. Some things may not have gone the way you intended them to go, but as long as you end up where you intended to be, that's all that matters. You see, winning doesn't always have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to look pretty. As long as you're winning, that's all that matters. You got to understand, no matter how tough life gets, you are not born to lose. Sometimes you find victory in the middle of the battle. The struggles you're going through now is developing your strength for tomorrow. There are times when I wanted something that I was trying to accomplish, and I actually showed up weak. But because I showed up anyway, I won. I need you to know that you don't have the chance of winning if you don't show up. Regardless of how you feel, you got to show up. You got to understand that strength comes from an ordinary soul that has been given an extraordinary purpose for their life. That's who you are. If you waste your life and don't do the things that you're supposed to do, then you will waste the life with the people that is connected to you. Now, I know you have heard me talk about the hustle and the grind, even though you must have that type of work ethic if you want to succeed. But don't confuse your hustle with alignment. You got to make sure the work that you are doing is aligned with what you're trying to accomplish. Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, who am I really? Some time ago, I was doing some reflection. Even though I had this going on, and I had a lot of great things going on, everything was going well. Then one day I got real with myself, and I asked myself this question. Out of everything I do and have accomplished, who am I really? And the crazy part, I couldn't answer the question. I didn't have an answer. I didn't have an answer because I was thriving off what I do instead of who I am. I lost who I was in the process of doing what I do. Once I realized who I really was and started walking into who I really am, my life began to change and redirected me to my true purpose. I'm going to leave you with this. You were not born to lose. What you're about to gain is going to be worth way more than you ever lost if you stay faithful. Don't rush what God is carefully building in you. His timing is perfect. What you're walking through right now is strengthening your faith and sharpening your mind. What he is preparing for you is going to exceed your expectations if you stay patient, faithful, and relentless in pursuing your dreams. And remember, out of all things, you were not born to lose. Thank you for listening to Real Talk with Reginald D. If you enjoyed listening to Real Talk with Reginald D, please rate and review on Apple Podcasts. See you next time.